We're on. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode. Today, while we wait for Sam to be available for Week 3 picks, we go to the top 25 for Week 3. Basically, just talking about what we saw, what we think. This is what the top 9 looks like, because I can't really show the last team yet. It's not
I
big.
must say, a beautiful week two. Loved it. A lot of close games, a lot of fun games, and of course some upsets. So definitely was a good slate of games for week two, which they've been trying to be better at because I can say with confidence the past couple of years I have not watched very much week one, two, or three, just because they typically don't have very good games. But this year they've done a pretty good job of getting good games on. So anyway, let's get into it. Top three, not surprising. Alabama, Georgia, Oklahoma. Nothing crazy.
Well, what else would you have really expected?
Exactly. But then you go down to the two winners, huge winners of week two.
Oh yeah.
Number 4, Oregon, and number 5, Iowa. Iowa going to Ames and just absolutely controlling the game from start to finish. Iowa State never looked in sync. Never really looked like they had a chance at all. Maybe when it was 10-7 going into halftime, but after on that, I don't know what it is. It's just Iowa just consistently beats down on them no matter how good they are. And then, of course, Oregon. We all know what they did.
That was amazing.
We're jumping around. You can see me. I'm very pessimistic when it comes to teams playing Ohio State because Ohio State always has their strategy, which is we're gonna let them tire themselves out, and then we'll beat them up in the end. And props to Oregon when Ohio State kept making a run and run, kept cutting it down to a one-score game. They kept pushing, and they kept playing hard. So Oregon deserves a lot of credit for that game because when Ohio State made it 35-27-28, or even when they brought it to 35-28, that's when I was like, uh-oh, this Oregon team is going to fold. But they did not. Also, the Raiders just got to stop on fourth down. I've got the Monday Night Football game on the side.
Yeah, so if you guys don't know, Ravens Raiders are currently playing. Oh my gosh, let's just start over. Ravens Raiders are currently playing right now as we're recording this Monday night. Score is 14-7 Baltimore. Raiders look bad.
Can I say, this Peyton Eli broadcast, I hope this exists in other weeks because this is so funny.
Oh, it does. There's going to be multiple games. I don't know if it's all season long, but they'll be doing multiple games Monday night this year.
Well, they'll have the secondary on ESPN, so that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Peyton Manning and Eli Manning are just hilarious people. So yeah. Anyway, back to it. Clemson, standard, not surprised. Texas A&M, I was pretty close. I didn't think that was going to be an upset, but I thought that there was a really good chance that Texas A&M being in the Mile High City, altitude always plays, and of course, Henrik King is his name? Was their quarterback? I believe it was Henrik King.
But he's out, yeah.
Their starting quarterback got injured, and I think he's out for the rest of the game. Rest of the year.
Pretty close to it. I think it's like 4-6 weeks, maybe.
Sorry, Aggie fans. I was close. I knew his last name was King and his first name began with an H. I was close. Haynes King, yeah, he's out for a while. And of course, man, if you watch that game in the fourth quarter, when the quarterback was running into the end zone and just, I don't know if you saw this, he literally fumbled it, like, this close to touching the goal line. Like, the ball just started slipping out of his hands as he was going to the goal line.
I did see the replay. Just so you guys know, I saw a good majority of the stuff. The 3 o'clock games I really did not see because I was at a party that night. So really the only night game I really saw that much outside of the ones like at 10 o'clock. The only night game I saw was Michigan-Washington, which...
Of course.
Yeah, which, I mean, I'm just going to say Michigan running the ball was absolutely unbelievable. And Washington could not stop it all game long. and
It was
it
boring
kept
as heck.
working, and we just kept running it down their throat. But
It was boring as heck, but it worked, and that's what counts. And I think that's always been Harbaugh's strategy. I am going to run the ball until you force me not to. And Washington just never could. And all of our like passing plays, most of our playbook is still hidden. It's not on tape or anything. So that's the big thing. For some of these bigger opponents coming up. Oh, and also next week, I cannot wait to kick Rocky Lombardi's butt in Northern Illinois. That's one of the 3 games that I've just been so excited for because I'm just ready to just wall up Lombardi. I hope Hutchinson just throws him to the ground. So
I'm
I'm
sure
excited
he
to see.
will.
Okay, anyway, continuing on Cincinnati, obviously number 7 or number 8.
Number 8, yeah.
I mean, they got a big game against Indiana this week, so that should be nice. And then obviously Ohio State fell all the way down to number 9. I'm surprised they didn't fall under Penn State, but at the same time, I can't completely say I'm surprised. But Penn State's there at number 10 after a win against Ball State, which I perfectly predicted the score of, by the way. I do my stat sheets, and I predicted 44-13, and I'm very proud of that.
I would if I had more time, but I really don't.
Yeah. I was like, dude, I picked it right. Okay, anyway, Florida, number 11, ahead of their big week 3 matchup against Alabama, and then the one that I really want to focus in on right now is Notre Dame. Oh, definitely over.
They look bad. They look very bad. And their next game is going to be at home against a big rival Purdue, who hasn't played them in a while. And they stopped their rivalry against Purdue because they said they could because they needed to focus on scheduling conference games. You know very well Purdue is out for blood, and they will be fighting hard to win that game. Don't be surprised if that's an upset.
I don't know if they will win that because I still think Notre Dame is a more talented team and a better coached team. But I would definitely not be surprised. Obviously, Notre Dame had 2 very close games against a Toledo team that's good, but shouldn't be even close with them at home. And then the Florida State win, which at the time Florida State looked good, but then lost to Jackson. So
That's so
Florida
bad.
State is not back,
Dude,
Florida State is not back. You sold your soul for that championship in 2013, I think it was. I forget what year it was, but you sold your soul for that championship. Anyway, going on down the list, UCLA jumps up 3 spots. That's mainly because a couple teams dropped, but also they just look good. Iowa State fell from number 9 to 5 or 14. Not surprising you lost 4. Virginia Tech won. Moving on. Coastal Carolina beat Kansas. Okay, cool. Moving on. I don't even know who won this play, but they won. So Wisconsin, one of the couple teams to just stay where they were. ASU jumped up to 19 after beating UNLV. Arkansas jumped into the top 25 after walloping Texas. Like, I thought there was a potential chance for an upset there. They walloped them at home.
Yeah, I was surprised myself. I figured that it would be a sneaky game. I think, like you said, I figured Arkansas had a shot at it, but I was very much surprised to see Texas lose by that much. Wasn't surprised to see Texas lose, but by as much as they did not see that coming.
Arkansas just looked like the better team. Welcome to the SEC, Texas.
This is what you're going to be getting in the SEC.
If you're getting walloped by Arkansas, what do you think can happen when you play Alabama?
They could go like 0-12 if they or like they'll win their non-conference, but they'll be like 3-9, be winless in the SEC. It won't be
that bad, but Texas. Every year we fall into this trap of this Texas back. And
Texas is back, horns up, and
2 to 3 weeks down the line. Sorry, sir. UNC bumping up 3 spots because I believe Utah, USC fell out.
Utah, USC, and somebody else, Texas. They all fell, so they just all moved. They moved up 3 spots.
Auburn bumps up to 22. Again, I don't think they're the 22nd ranked team in the country. I'm 99% sure they're in the rankings solely because of the Penn State game this week. BYU jumps into the rankings after upsetting Utah. Miami falls 2 spots after
surviving App State. That was a good game.
That was one of my 2 that I thought could be an upset as well.
That and the fans catching the cat.
That was great. Props to the fans for catching the cat. And then Michigan rounding out the top 25. Some others that are receiving votes: UCF, TCU, Liberty, Michigan State, and then obviously USC, Indiana, LSU, K-State. I love K-State, and I'm sad that Skylar Thompson is hurt because I thought K-State has a lot of their great games at home, but without Skylar Thompson, I can't really say they're good. I love how Toledo is getting 2 votes to be in the top 25, even though they lost. They're still getting 2 votes.
You see Oklahoma State in there with 27 votes, and with them having Spencer Sanders back, I think the Cowboys will be a much better team. Spencer Sanders, really good quarterback. Oklahoma State always has a great offense and then just has zero defense, which they play Boise State this week, so I'm curious how that goes, especially on the blue field. If they can beat Boise State, maybe there's some more things ahead for Oklahoma State, but that's a big game for the Cowboys.
Yeah, if they beat Boise State, I'll have a little bit more confidence in them. Right now, I still don't have enough confidence in Oklahoma State to say they'll beat them.
And also UCF. I'm very excited for the Golden Knights. Is it the Golden Knights or just the Knights now?
I think they're the Golden Knights.
But anyway, UCF now with Gus Malzahn as the new head coach. I watched their game against Boise State, and I mean, it started off very poorly. They were very bad to start off the game. Immediately going down like 21-0, I believe. Came all the way back to win 36-31. Very impressive win. They beat some no-name team last week, and now this week they have Louisville on the road Friday night. That's another big game for UCF. So I'm curious how that game goes. If they can beat another Power 5 team, well, Boise State isn't a Power 5 team, but if they can beat a Power 5 team in Louisville, that would be a nice win on the resume for UCF, especially in Louisville, Kentucky.
Yeah, I still can't believe UCF came back and won that game against Boise State.
That was really impressive. Honestly, I like their quarterback. I like Dylan Gabriel. I think he's got some talent. Obviously, their former starter, Mackenzie Milton, transferred out. I thought he went. I think he transferred out a couple years ago, but now he's at Florida State. I saw him playing Notre Dame. I like Milton too. Mackenzie Milton's a good QB as well, but
I mean, he's just coming off of a devastating injury, and then he just lost to Florida Jacksonville State.
That's bad.
We gotta say that's a great ending though. That was a great ending though. I mean, walk-off touchdown is pretty great.
Also, another note, honestly, as we have now finished the top 25, but USC has finally fired Clay Helton.
Yes, because at home, and didn't just lose; they got embarrassed at home to a. They gave up 8.8. It's like something like 8 yards per play against a Stanford team that mustered 7 points the week prior against K-State.
And I converted on it because now I got 17.5.
That was insane. That's just insane right there.
That was big for me. But honestly, I have no complaints with this top 25. I don't really see anyone that I see on here that I would say does not deserve to be ranked. Because all these teams definitely, I mean, Notre Dame continues to fall, which is perfect. I mean, they looked terrible in their games. Clemson deserves to be where they are. UCLA has been very good this year. Very excited. They're going to play Fresno State, actually, this week, which Fresno State, obviously, almost pulled off the upset against Oregon, who has now beaten Ohio State. But Oregon's a really good team, and I'm very impressed by the fact that Fresno State was able to play with them in Eugene, in the Autzen Zoo. And now they'll head to UCLA, which I think is another underrated game. I think that could be very good. I mean, UCLA's got really good running backs. Dorian Thompson Robinson's an awesome quarterback. UCLA's also got Chip Kelly as a head coach. So very excited for the Bruins and what they'll be doing. Ole Miss has a sneaky game this week too, but they got a really good team. Virginia Tech has West Virginia this week. Very excited for that. But really, yeah, no complaints with this top 25. Everybody who's on here should be on here. Um, I think Auburn deserves to be ranked. They have a decent team. They always have, and yes, I think more of why they're in the top 25 is because they play Penn State, which by the way is going to be a very good game. But obviously, I think that's really the only reason why they are ranked. But I think they're worthy of a top 25 spot. Bo Nix. I mean, I know not a lot of people like Bo Nix, but I think he's a decent QB overall. Other than that, Auburn's always got decent players. They obviously have been good for a long time, so I would expect a lot out of these Auburn Tigers. Not that they're going to go anywhere, but I do think they should be in the top 25.
Purdue's running back is out 4 to 8 weeks with a broken leg.
Yeah, that'll hurt them too. Also, North Carolina, finally they got a win. They beat Georgia State. Well done, guys. After laying that against Virginia Tech.
I think if anybody should be ranked in Auburn's place, I think, as much as I hate to say it, honestly, I think this Michigan State team is pretty good this year. I think this Michigan State. I mean, Kenneth Walker is the name for me. Kenneth Walker is.
Well, your Michigan State team, it's your typical Michigan State team. Michigan State is what they've always been for football every single year. They have an absolutely loaded rushing game. Their running game is absolutely unbelievable. It always has been every single year. Of course, now they have a new coach in Mel Tucker, who I think is a good head coach. So they definitely have something there.
Made for leaving Colorado the way he did. I know one of my friends goes to Colorado, and they're like, I hate Mel Tucker. Oh my gosh, I told them they do not like Mel Tucker after what he did. Which makes him fit perfectly at Michigan State. Peyton Thorne, though, is a pretty decent QB. I mean, he's better than Rocky Lombardi, and Rocky Lombardi was able to beat Michigan.
That's because Michigan sucked last year.
That's true, but I think Peyton Thorne's at least better than Rocky Lombardi. Also, I didn't know the Lions were actually getting Monday night next week. That was fun.
Why even put the Lions on Monday? If it's again, why even put the Lions on Monday night? The only thing you're putting them on Monday night for is them to get crucified by some NFL team. Of course, it's against the Packers, and I swear, like the last 2-3 years, or something like that, last 2-3 years, the Lions have been on Monday night, week 2 against Green Bay. What is the purpose in that? Everybody knows that Green Bay is going to swamp the Lions. Of course, it's also in Lambeau as well. It's never at Ford Field. So, what's the whole point in putting the Lions, who suck every single year, on Monday night to get crucified by Green Bay? That just why?
Didn't Rodgers get benched because he played so poorly?
Huh?
Did Rodgers get benched?
Who?
Rodgers, Aaron.
Oh, Rodgers? No, they just took him out because he got blown out, because they were getting blown out. So they just said, yeah, they took him out for love because the Saints were blowing him out. But the NFL, that's another topic for another day.
I think we pretty much talked all we can here, so we'll probably just end this one.
Yep, so that'll be it for us. Overall, nice top 25. We will see you guys in the next episode with me, Sam, and Serbenski, hopefully, whenever Sam is ready to go here. But other than that, that'll be all for us. We'll see you guys on the Week 5 picks. If you want to see our latest video, click above me. You want to see our other college football episodes, that being our picks from the previous week. If you want to see those, go to the right here. It'll be over on the right, our other college football episodes. Right in the middle, you can subscribe to the channel. And that'll be all for us. Until next time, adios, everyone.
Peace.